We shall do this. We'll be on.
Doing the shall of the do. We shall do of this. We shall.
Have we ever
Shilly
been on at
shally.
this time?
Do in the shally.
I don't think we have. So therefore, we don't know at all who's gonna be watching, because basically all of your favorite people will be like in primary school.
Yes, yeah. All my dedicated viewers will be in primary school. Actually, funnily enough, my dedicated viewing audience is supposedly 18 to 35, so they'll be at work.
They will. They'll be working. Be in the chippies and
What?
the bricklayers and.
Yeah, well, I think it's 3 a.m. in the UK, so we rule out all of them.
Yeah, it's all right. They just went into lockdown.
Oh, they're definitely still up there just doing nothing because they had to sit at home all day.
Yeah.
Do you ever get that when you sit at home all day and then you're just like itchy by the end of it?
No, because I just sleep. If I don't do anything, I just sleep.
Yeah, I do periodically nap just out of general boredom, but more so I just find that I'm like, I have to leave the house. At a certain point, I'm just like, let me out.
Yeah, I get you. All right, so let's basically reference the pink elephant in the room. The fact that I've got this eye that's nearly closed.
Who are you? We don't even know who you are.
So apparently I haven't actually just been rubbing my asshole in my eye, and it's the first time I've ever had allergies.
So no one farted on your pillow?
No.
Are you sure?
No. I've been working on that, and no one did that.
He's like got a GoPro installed in his room now just to check that no one's coming in and periodically farting on his pillow.
That's why I have about like 5 webcams set up just for like amateur porn.
Oh, good. Can you jump between those webcams on this chat?
Not on this chat.
Okay, that'd be great. You're just like, dramatic ankles with Jarran.
I'll do it.
Yeah, so Jarran has pink eye. I'm Dom. I do jumps. Sorry we didn't get to last. Oh my God, you can do it. That is so cool.
I can actually.
Holy shit.
Go on.
Yeah.
We're not doing this today.
We didn't do last week's podcast because currently I'm working on a project which I can't disclose to anyone right now what it is.
Project.
But it's long days on set, and it's a really, really exciting, fun project, and it's something completely different to anything I've done before. So I'm very excited for that. But that just meant that I was too tired, too smacked out to do. Getting smacked out, that's definitely the wrong terminology. Too like
get
too
off that heroin.
But just smacked out, man, I can't sleep. Nah, I had to sleep. That was the issue. So yeah, we didn't do that, but we're doing it this week. And yeah, Jarran, have you seen The Social Dilemma?
No, I haven't. Should I?
I mean, that's what I wanted to. I'm coming from the whole like, I watched like half of it, and with the cheesy acting in the middle, it just felt like it was like Reefer Madness, but for like social media.
No, really?
Like they have their like factual guys in there doing like the scientific, I made the like button and it's bad and whatever. But like the staging of it was like, it's going to turn you into a zombie. It's going to turn you into a voodoo. I couldn't even finish it because I just figured they were going to end up eating brains because they consume too much Facebook.
Yeah, right. Did it have that a dramatic what is it? Dramatization of.
Dramatization.
Yeah, that one. No, is that what it's called?
It's definitely dramatization.
All right. Something dramatic replay. No.
Yeah, no. So it wasn't like.
It wasn't like 60 minutes.
This happened to a friend of mine, or like really bad reenactments of like.
Reenactments.
It has a narrative written into it. Where it's like this family of like, you know, I think it's a stepdad and the mother and his daughter, and then like a stepfamily. So it's like very diverse and stereotypical in that way. And like it's just B grade acting because it's a documentary, obviously, and it's not meant to be focused on that aspect. That's just kind of moving the whole thing along and using the kid as examples. But it's like every time the kid looks at his phone, it goes to the other side of the screen, and there's like 3 guys that are dressed in different blazers with different colored shirts, and they're like, how do we get him addicted? We gotta addict him. Let's get him addicted to the phone. Hey, he likes Julie. Let's fucking send him notifications from Julie. It's like, why don't you just turn your notifications off? That's what I've done. I go to my phone and then I look at like what has notifications.
Yeah.
Like the only one I have up is email, and that's for business, and I don't even read that. I just check the little blurb because everything goes through management now, so I don't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Management is Saturday, for those of you know who Saturday is. She also does my management and runs my life on the professional side of things, as well as being my lovely partner in crime. So
because otherwise your shit would fall to pieces.
Basically, I would be able to do what I do, but with like no money or no like future plans. It's just like, I'm really good at just doing parkour and producing videos like that. I can do, guaranteed. But the rest of life, that's when you have a lovely lady in your life who has a brain that's more wide that way. That helps.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, but so I don't think social media is inherently a bad thing. I think, obviously there's a bunch of dumb people, but it's a tool, right? Joe Rogan said it best back in the day in his comedy skit. If you give a guy a hammer, right, he can build a house, or he can hit himself in the dick. Like, it's really how you as a consumer decide to take on the beast that is social media. Like, there's obvious like addiction parameters and stuff like that. Like I saw a friend of mine changed, so he has one phone that he just uses for like phone stuff, and then a phone that he has his social media apps on that he leaves at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's great if you don't want to build your brand or build your platform in a more engaging way, because there is something really tangible about like the live instant posting, especially with Instagram, which I guess is the one I speak most heavily from because it's where I have my experience. I suck at YouTube.
But that's where I see like social media becoming what it's going to take time before quality shit or deeper shit starts happening. And it could go the other way, where it's just lowest common denominator stuff. If you want to put it into a reference to parkour, it's just everyone doing their flips for the gram.
Yeah, which is not the case. It's a very oversimplified look at it. As I think the social dilemma, as much as it talks from the accuracies of all these, like, how do I say, creators and people, executives that work on boards and that sort of thing, they had input as to how it was created, and even they say it wasn't to be created in that like volition. It wasn't meant to be this thing that it's become. And it's like, yeah, well then why are people using it in that way? Just using it in the correct ways. Like the part that I watched in the documentary that really struck me, which is where I say, like, they just would he had to put his phone in a jar for like 3 days or 5 days, a week, and not check his phone for a week because he cracked his screen. And his mom's like, if you don't look for a week, I'll replace your screen. It's like, come on, bro. That's not that hard. Like, legitimately, if you're a reasonable person, a rational person, that's not that hard. And they just make it out to be like this ordeal, you know what I mean? Like he's a heroin addict. Oh, I need to my phone. What does the notification say? And they like try to push different notifications. I'm like, again, his phone would be off. Like your situational variables that you've got going on in this plot,
yeah, because you haven't sent messages out, so you're not expecting messages, and it's just
it's unfeasible in a way. And the way that they kind of personify this, I was watching like the new JRE with the guy who created the documentary. What's his name? It's like Tristan Harris. So he wasn't a popular guy at school.
I don't get that.
Well, he's the one that's like, oh, social dilemma.
Oh, right.
He's probably got like 3 followers until now. That's his issue. He's like, mm-hmm. No, he seems pretty rational, pretty reasonable. Obviously, I'm not like really actually cutting at him, but he was saying that like he likes to use the what's that metaphor of like a voodoo doll, like they're creating a voodoo doll, and I'm like, that's so ominous and so dark. And I get that you're coming from that side of things, but it's like realistically, if you like, for me as someone who's base level consumer, I probably don't spend more than 3 hours on my phone on any given day. Then like the shit that's recommended to me is good because it's the little bit of source material or information I'm looking for, and it's like what I would like to watch. You know, it's right there in my feed. So like I'm not spending 5 hours on rabbit holes. I know that's how the apps are designed, and you're meant to go down these like long tangent and like rabbit holes of watch time. But really, like if something like even a podcast is on YouTube and it's rolling over those watch minutes, it's just in the background. Like I'm just playing it audibly. I'm still doing shit. I still think anybody that's doing this is not just sitting there glued to the screen. There's probably other stuff going on in their immediate surroundings. That seems to be what I would assume is the norm. I don't know.
It depends. Like, so basically, I can't do more than one thing at a time because I need my fucking ears. It's so annoying. It's like I listen to a podcast or something and it's like, all right, do I keep listening to the podcast? Do I listen to the audiobook? Or do I use my ears to make the music?
Oh, okay. Well, that's I guess different because of I'm talking about medial things. And I think 3 is the maximum input for me. So I could have a podcast going, be doing the dishes and like be cleaning periodically, but I couldn't be doing more. And the second that someone starts talking to you when you're on that third thing, so say like, for example, you called me in that, then I'd be fucked. Then I can't listen to the podcast because I do need my ears. But there's like, you've got enough senses that you can kind of mediate between two. And especially if it's an audio thing, you just pick your battles. Yeah. Like for me, it's when I'm around the house doing chores, that's when I put on something. And then if I'm sitting there, I'll watch something and I'll put something on to consume visually. Mm-hmm. I also just like watching shit. So obviously I'm going to be one of the people who's like, yeah, it's not that much of a dilemma. It's as much of a dilemma as you make it, I believe, personally.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty good at going down rabbit holes. Like yesterday I went down a super, super niche rabbit hole for at least an hour. It was just...
What was the niche rabbit hole, if you were able to identify?
It's so niche that not many people apart from jazz musicians get it. There's basically this one song that is called Giant Steps. It's one of the hardest songs in jazz music because it just keeps changing key constantly. And so they take things like Gucci Gang and then they auto-tune it so that it changes key every beat. And so then... And then they just do that to just random shit like the Baby Shark.
It sounds like it's 5 minutes to even just like figure out what the whole thing is. So that's by the time you get started, you're already 5 minutes deep.
Yeah, well, these things are only like 1 minute, but there's a lot of them now. Not a lot. It's too niche for a lot. But basically, if you know the joke, they're just funny as fuck. But probably... I don't know, 10,000.
So esoteric humor.
It's super esoteric.
Yeah, well, that's what I find with a lot of like parkour humor and parkour conversations. Even within the community itself, there's like this tighter knit, like certain people of certain groups, certain factions, or people who train a certain way will have this esoteric humor towards a certain thing, whereas other people will not get it at all and find it like off or weird or offensive, and depending on what it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everyone wants to be in on the in joke, and I feel like if you're not in on it, it's very easy to get a bit like
what the fuck are these guys talking about?
Or like sometimes I find people, including myself, you get a bit like narky or a bit like pull back or defensive because you're not in on the in joke, and it's like, do you really need to be? Like, is it that important that you need to be in on the joke?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where, like, for me, my insecurities growing up of, like, not fitting in would bubble over and be more prevalent. Definitely as I've gotten, like, past 25, that shit seems to be way less apparent. I don't really care what people say anymore. It's like, if I heard it, I did. If not, then, you said it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I found that even now, I've just started rollerblading again. And I'm just like, fuck it. Whatever. Like, a skateboarder wants to make fun of me. cool, I can skateboard now. So I just
Oh, guess what? You'd be proud of me, Jarran. I'm
oh
learning
what?
to push, not Mongo.
Oh good.
I've been learning front foot. For those people who don't know, I've always pushed back foot on the board and then come off with my front foot and then replace it on the front. And that's like not how you skateboard at all.
Some people can. Some people
I can do it really well. Like I actually feel more comfortable than regular on
but that's
it
because you learned that way.
Yeah, but that's like saying I can backflip with like my head back every time. So I'm just gonna do it that way. It's like, yeah, but you'll never double.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll never learn how to really do it. So I've just gone back to basics. Every time I ride, I try to do as much regular pushing as I can.
Yeah, like it's good. It's kind of like landing on the balls of your feet when you're jumping. You're like, oh, cool. Now I have a little bit more control. Oh, I can put a little bit more power into it. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And it's kind of, you go back to that. I go back to it's not such a far away stage either. That early stage of like when you push and you wobble.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That would be me trying to do Mongo.
Huh?
That would be me if I tried to push Mongo. It just wouldn't work for me, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's hard, but it's not something I aspire to do a lot either. I'm not someone who's like drilling it. I just like the tool of rolling around. It's a little bit faster than walking.
Yeah, it just gets you places.
Speaking of getting you places, guess what I did this morning?
You got a place?
I drove a car.
Oh, yeah. So tell me about this.
So I'm learning to drive at the tender young age of 28.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's like my second time in the car ever. But he just seems so like, he's like, so you've like never driven before? I'm like, yeah, I've driven like a couple of times. I just kind of like told him I'd driven more than I had, but not really. Like, just said like years ago, yeah. But I've only had my L's for like 3 months, so don't know how that's possible. But yeah, I was pretty confident actually. I mean, driving is a weird. I thought it was going to be heaps intense, but it's really weirdly seamless.
Yeah,
like
it's. I don't even think about it anymore, which is probably bad. But I'm guessing you're learning on auto.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm just driving a glorified golf cart, and that's all I ever plan to do.
Dude, that's all most people ever do. I remember transitioning to manual. I was just like, what the fuck? Some people had to learn the gears and driving at the same time. How the fuck do you do that?
Yeah, nah. I'm like, my biggest thing is probably still just brake control. I still get a little bit like
jerky as fuck.
Just at the end of it, right at the end, my last will be a bit, but it's getting better.
But you can use analogies for that, and it will be fine. Mm-hmm. If you literally use the analogy of coming down into a stick, you'll be like, oh, makes sense. You can literally just go, and like, there's nothing. There's no like force. Put an egg on the dashboard. Put an egg on the dashboard, and if it doesn't roll around, then you're a good driver.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah, that would fucking suck. But
I'd say I made severe improvement from hitting the indicator instead of the windscreen wiper last time.
Oh, wait till you go to Europe, and then it's the other way around.
That's fine. Once I understand it, it's all pretty like it's just because I just have to think about where it is.
Yeah.
But on the first lesson, I would like hit the left side of the column, and they'd be like windscreen wipers.
Like, what the fuck?
Turn that off. Go back.
Yeah.
But it becomes pretty intuitive pretty quickly. So that one I didn't make too many mistakes on today. Mm-hmm. Also, when I've been driving with Kadori, like if I'm passenger, a lot of our conversations will be about what's going on in traffic and that sort of thing. So I've been boning up on theory quite a lot. Recently, which I think really helps, just being aware on the roads of what's going on and that sort of thing. Then my senses will be already tuned.
Yeah, exactly. Because you gotta be aware of like how traffic moves as an animal, and then be aware of how fuckwits move as an animal inside the traffic. Because there's one person you're just like, you're going to be a problem.
So did you find it at all hard when you were learning? Like for me, glancing at the speedometer and finding out what the speed limit was a nightmare. Like it wasn't like I was stressing out or awful, but it was literally one of the hardest aspects. I think I glanced at my speedometer like 3 times, and I was like, every time I did, I felt really uncomfortable because my eyes were off the road.
Yeah. That's a short-term memory thing. No, literally you go, all right, I have a picture of the road, everything that's coming up. I'm going to be here and like down the road by the time I look back up. Everything's good. Look down, look up.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
the problem is you get super complacent. Yeah. Like speedometer becomes a non-issue and suddenly you're like, oh, I know exactly what's going on in front of me. Let me look at my phone for a little while. Like 5 seconds kind of thing. And look up. And then you're like, maybe I've gotten a bit too comfortable here.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, I have like respect for the cars. I'm like, they're big, scary metal beasts with 4 wheels. So.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, but I like this fact that you can kind of step into the soul of whatever thing that you have.
Yeah, well, what you said with like being the car.
Yeah.
I think that resonates quite hard. Like, if I just imagine myself as the vehicle. And like I'm just a mechanism in the vehicle doing the driving.
Yeah.
So I'm all.
I basically feel like that now on controlling anything that I'm doing. I'm just that thing, and I'm just making that thing work. Mm-hmm. And then you get that feeling of sensitivity. Oh, I am a skateboard now. Oh, I am a bike. And suddenly then you become that person as well. So you're like, fuck cars and fuck pedestrians because I'm a bike rider. Or fuck pedestrians and fuck bike riders because I'm in a car.
Yeah.
And then you're just an angry, bitter asshole. No matter where you are.
Yeah, I'm not really on the angry, bitter side of things.
Nah.
I feel like I'd be quite a polite driver.
Yeah. You wait. You wait.
But also, I'm saying I'm confident, but that's because I had old Gregory Wiles, or whatever his name was, my driving instructor, sitting there spoon feeding me, and also in a way like having a similar like discussion about driving as we were doing it. So there was never a part where I was like, what do I do? Because he was kind of just spoon feeding me instruction the whole time.
Yeah.
So that'll be very different when I'm expected to kind of do it more on my own volition. Definitely at the stage where I feel like I could drive in a friend's car and not be like risking their car.
That's good. We'll do that when I come up to Sydney. Coming up to Sydney. What are we gonna do for the podcast when I'm in Sydney?
We'll hire out a grand hall. We'll probably hire out like ANZ Stadium.
Sick.
And then just sit in the middle on the cricket pitch there with like 7 different cameras and have like just pretty quiet brunch.
Yeah, sick. I'll bring the tea.
Yeah, I'll bring cucumber sandwiches.
Nice. Dude, I can make
talk about the Queen.
I can make salted caramel now. That's a dangerous thing.
How do you make?
I need to tell you about
Jarran?
Oh, it's fucking easy. You get a pan, you get sugar, you melt the sugar, you put some butter in, you put some cream in. Boom.
Bada bing, bada
like
boom,
everyone's favorite
caramel.
thing is the easiest thing ever. But I need to tell you about my last fortnight. So basically, I went on.
Did you win the round? What costume were you wearing?
Fuck you. Fuck you and your modern social references that I don't get.
That's the real social dilemma.
So 2 weeks ago, I fasted for 10 days because my yoga instructor was like, hey, I'm doing the master cleanse. You want to do the master cleanse?
10 days seems pretty slow. It's not that fast.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, anyway,
Jesus.
go on. Bad jokes aside.
Yeah, so I did that, and that was kind of shit. Like, it wasn't bad. I actually felt better than I did the week after, because then I just fucking gorged myself. I ate all the bullshit. And now I just am like feel about 50, and I'm like 90 kilos. So
Whoa. Okay. Speaking of, so you're 90 kilos. How tall are you?
180.
180. So I'm 182. And you would think I would be much heavier than you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am broader, taller, longer, thicker, but not thicker apparently because I only weigh 83.
See?
Now,
Exactly.
this is where it gets weird. So I'm heavy for my frame. You must be heavy for your frame. The twins are bigger than me. They're taller, way more muscular, like way more rounded. They weigh 79 kilos.
I don't get this.
I don't understand how it works.
Because I don't know where the weight is coming off.
Where is it coming off and where is it going on? What?
Yeah.
Like I have nothing on me, so it's all structural.
Yeah.
And they weigh 79. I just don't get it.
And you guys are like taking impact, so you can't take away any of that weight from like your bone density.
Well, I think I would have more bone density than most. Regardless, I definitely think I've taken a considerable amount more impact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but that shouldn't be enough for an excuse for why I'm 4 kilos heavier than them.
Doesn't make an excuse why I'm like 10 kilos heavier than you.
Yeah,
except that I'm fat boy.
I can't see your ribs.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll do a post on YouTube of our bodies and then be like, how do you figure this out?
Yeah.
We'll get the twins as well. I'll make them pose in underwear and we can just pose in like shirt and shorts.
It'll be great.
I'll be like, nah, we're all doing it in underwear. Trust me.
Oh God. Tell me what's been going on in your world, like not relating to you. Has anything been happening in the parkour world?
I mean, it's not something I really touched on or care to really weigh an opinion on just because I'm not interested. But there was this heated debate between people over a video that Jimmy the Giant made where he was doing what was interpreted as Southern African-American accent. And heaps of people took offense to it and other people were backing it up and it was all weird. And I don't get involved in that sort of thing. But, you know, if people want to look at some random parkour politics, I'd go check that out. Because it is, you know, you should know about it.
Like, did he do it? If
you're uneducated on the subject. Personally, I just don't like to, you know, speak politics online. It's not my gambit.
So was it just like, how long was this? It was a sentence?
This is like a 1,000 comment thread, maybe a week ago.
Yeah, but like the video. That. What was the actual incident? How long did that go?
It was like, I believe, this thing I don't know enough to really educate people on. I just recommend going to Jimmy's page and having a look for yourself. But I think he was just making like a silly personification of a rapper who people didn't like his top 10 list that he made on YouTube. So he was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. This is my top, if you don't like my top 10 list, it's my top 10 list kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
Which then it wasn't actually what he said that people took offense to. I think it was the way he had characterized it. I don't know.
Jeez.
I just don't, when it comes to anything that would cause negativity around parkour, personally, I just abstain myself from it and just don't even engage. Yeah, like I maybe find out, face value what's happened so that I'm not like out of the loop, but I'm not going to weigh public opinion or anything like that. It's just because purely I don't want to fuel any fires of negativity around parkour. That's the main thing. Like regardless of like what level it is, I want my message of parkour to be about positivity and jumps specifically. You know, be about the movement side of things and about the athletic side of things and how the mental side of things of the actual movement can be so helpful in those journeys.
So you can just weigh in on the free running versus parkour debate, which is obviously
well, I used to
raging.
just write penis.
Yeah, really.
in those ones, that was always fun. But speaking of which, actually, Jimmy did make a good video about the parkour free running debate.
It was
his latest video.
That was a good video.
For me, yeah, the leading comment I left with that was that we all do parkour and we're all free runners. Because the thing I didn't know was the distinction from Sebastian Foucault, where he was just trying to like translate it to English audiences. I didn't know that. Because everyone had always told me that he tried to take on like this own life of its own with the creative side of things and tried to push the creativity. But that was just his style. It wasn't what he was, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
He was calling parkour, but he was just calling it free running, so it's digestible for an English-speaking audience. So it actually means parkour.
That's pretty funny.
It's hilarious.
Because people need shit to be digestible. Otherwise, they go, what the fuck is parkour?
Yeah, it makes sense to a wider-speaking audience. And then now that parkour is a more common word thanks to The Office and things like that, I think we should call it parkour or call it the all-encompassing thing that it is. Like if you're outside... And I love this because you know how he made the distinction, like if we're out training, none of us are training parkour. We're all doing parkour tricks, or like we're all doing free running because we're training the tricks that involve parkour. Even if you're doing pure parkour, like sticking in precision. And this is a point that Marx made to me years ago, Master Marx. He was always like, we don't do parkour A to B efficient movement. We train like movement, like because if you stick a jump, that's inefficient. Like it's not efficient movement to stick a jump, and we all train sticking. So it's like it's the fundamental movements that go towards parkour. It's not, you know what I mean? So we all do parkour, and we all are free runners. That's how I like to see it. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna ask what I am, I'm a free runner, or a parkour professional. If you really want to go into like the deaths terminology, but
oh shit.
But nah, like it doesn't need to be. I've never been on the decided distinction between the two. I've always thought I just like, because I live by Danny's like Danny Rebecca. So it's all movement, man. It's all movement. Call it parkour, call it free running. Do what you like, man. It's all movement at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
That's how I feel about it. I still think...
Yeah, but you're a gross stunt man and you don't even know what like the ethics are and the morals, because you're just like stunted and you just tie ropes around yourself.
I do like tying ropes around myself, actually.
But not for stunt purposes, just
to hang myself from the ceiling, basically.
Oh, love that. Love that. That's great.
Get it.
Do more of that.
Yeah. Well, that was... I don't know, an interesting video. I liked the analogy towards skateboarding. It's like no one calls it different things. It's just like street vert. Have you seen that weird thing that they have? It's like a skateboard race.
No.
Think about BMX racing, but with just like skateboards.
Sounds like your shins would hate it.
I don't get your joke.
Because there'd be like 10 boards that could potentially hit your shins.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
Oh my God. Who's that guy in your bottom left-hand corner?
Your face. It's
my face. That's my cum face. I thought I'd just put that out there for people. Yeah, well, that I think I told you potentially, or maybe the podcast, that Roland Nye Turner is making those thumbnails. So he's been making a few of the most recent thumbnails for me. You can find his information at the bottom of the captions in the YouTube videos.
You're
right
a
on
sweet
Jarran
guy.
Zen's music.
You sweet guy. Being nice to people. All right, it's not
No,
him.
no, I'm not being. He's being nice to me. He just out of the blue made a couple of them and it's like, hey man, I really like your stuff and I just want to do something community wise. And it's like, yeah, just as you know, my platform's not monetized. He's like, yeah, I don't care about that. Just yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'll put your name and your link somewhere, obviously.
Here it is. It's called Skate Cross.
Skate Cross. Dude,
it's like...
See, this thing. There's so many different worlds that we don't even know about. 500,000 views. So 500,000 people know about this shit before us.
Fastest time.
Maybe not before Jarran.
Look at him
Yeah,
go.
look, it's fucking luge.
This is not luge. Do you actually know what luge is? Check it though. It's like it's
Oh, my
legit
word.
jumps.
It's amazing how much.
Okay, so I thought there was more people.
The first jump.
No,
You can see the
I think there the
gunning
first
out.
heats were like
He
4
knows
people in
exactly
it.
Where to find speed here. He knows.
But
he
still,
knows
it's
where
like-
to hit the berms.
It's
But
legit.
Beaver's on the low side now.
Yeah,
It's
don't
very
you hate when
possible
you've got
he
like
can catch
snot
up
in your
coming
nose,
through
but
the
it's like
last
caked
berm.
up on the side, so you can't get like a clean boogie out?
No, you just get in there.
Nah, because then it like smushes it against the side, and then I just have like a nasal wall of boogie.
Oh yeah. Tasty.
Yeah, so how would one even get into that sport? You know what I mean? How, like, because that seems like it's a very organized, set up thing. You can't just like go and practice that down the road.
No, they were just all pro skaters. Like Ryan Sheckler did it. He wasn't very good at it. Yeah, people just basically they said this is what we're going to do. People turn up, and you get to practice it on the course. Have fun.
Okay, yeah, fair. So kind of like a parkour competition in the way that they just set it up, and they're like, "These are your things, go."
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, it gives no one a home ground advantage, and it means that other than like having fun, you can't really specifically train for it. You just have to be good at skateboarding.
Yeah. It's pretty intense.
No, that looked like it was outside. Do they do it intense as well?
Obviously, it's a fucking circus. Oh, I got there.
Yeah, brought it back
So-
around. Zing. Wow, 10 points for Jarran. I don't really have anything to talk about now.
No. Like, I'm just like looking out half my eye, basically. Good
Yeah.
times.
What is the clinical term for pink eye?
Conjunctivitis.
Oh, really? That's so
So-
boring.
Yeah, so you can get viral conjunctivitis, bacterial conjunctivitis, and I have allergic conjunctivitis, which means I can go get choked at jiu-jitsu.
Oh,
Stingy
'Cause no one can-
fighting.
yeah, because it's an allergy and no one else can catch your allergy.
Yeah,
'cause you're a
exactly.
little
It's
allergen boy.
non-contagious, which sucked because I've been walking around for the last week like a fucking social pariah, wearing sunglasses, being like, I'm good. Got a haircut and went to the dentist, and I'm like, yeah, I got something stuck in my eye. The doctor is like,
Do
told
you
me-
have an eye patch?
I did. I just threw it out, but
But was it like a medical eye patch, not like a cool pirate eye
I know,
patch?
not medical eye patches are fucking terrible.
Yeah, they just make you look like you're like a World War II victim.
Yeah, you don't have any of that glitz and glamour of a pirate eye patch, and it would have been
Man,
perfect.
Do that and a parrot.
Yeah.
Living life on the edge. Well, on the plank. Oh my god, there's 2 new episodes of One Piece that I can watch.
Does that mean that you've watched every episode of One Piece?
No.
Dude, what? Like, I remember you telling me a few years ago, and you're like, there's so many episodes, blah, 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 blah.
I'm never going to get to the end. Well, now I'm at the end and they're still releasing them, so I have to wait till every Sunday.
Like, what has happened in that time?
Fuck all, man. Fuck all, really. They made like 4 more islands and met like 3 more bosses, and that's about it.
Wow. Do they just, like, talk about philosophy in between? Or do they travel a lot? And it's
They travel a lot.
They
It's
travel a
just
lot and
of-
it's flashbacks?
No, not so much flash. They've been pretty good with the flashbacks. It's more just slow paced setting, and then the end of every episode is the start of every next episode for the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, all right.
Like they do this thing where like this is the 20-minute runtime, and then they cross the other 20-minute runtime like this, and then they cross the other 20-minute runtime like this. So you only get this much new information per episode, like 6 to 8 minutes of really intense shit. And then you're
Okay.
like, I'm going to watch this other shit again in a second.
Have they killed off any characters? I don't even know this. Like thing,
No,
but-
so not on on the main crew, no one's died. It's only still building. Luffy's crew, no one's died. I feel like that's not going to happen.
What about
because,
bosses or bad people?
It depends. In the Great Pirate War, a bunch of people died. And then now it seems like everybody that I thought died is still alive in some way, because that's just how anime goes.
That is how anime goes.
It's how it do be go. Do we have any questions to pitch from
That's
the
kind of why
audience?
I'm stopped paying attention to you.
Well, I thought it
going
was because I was
through-
talking about One Piece, but
No, I'm super interested in One Piece.
tell me more about these pirates that I don't know about.
I know you before you were a member of Team Farang.
No, you don't.
Whoa. What
I have
else?
the hairiest toes.
Stop doing parkour. It is dangerous and super bag.
Yeah, so get a bag in while you do parkour. Super bag. Woo!
No, that is just my bad eyesight, apparently. It said
Oh,
bad.
okay.
But,
Look at
just
my toe
kidding,
hairs.
lol, good and funny.
Look at my toe hairs, bro. It's way too intense. I can like cover my
Dude.
face with just my toe hairs.
It's actually not, like, have you seen some people's feet? Oh, that's what I wanted to get into, barefoot training. I wrote a, stop making questions. So if you have questions, ask them now while I talk about barefoot running. So I read this book called Born to Run, and it's like, I don't know, I guess it started another wave of fuckwits trying to do marathons. There's one idiot in there that like just does the 5-finger shoes and that kind of stuff in the middle of the Mexican desert. But it got me thinking about how much like modern shoes stop your feet from actually doing what feet are supposed to do.
Yeah, agreed.
And so now I'm at the moment I'm doing treadmill like just 10 minutes a day with 10 kilos in a backpack, and you come off it and your feet are just on fire.
In a good way, on fire or sore?
Kind of like the in between skin
Worked.
has just been fucking worked, yeah.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I have a similar quest. Interesting that you said that, because for the past like month, 2 months or so, I've been like just occasionally, if I'm going to do something, I'll go barefoot and I'll walk home barefoot from training, and I'll like do a couple of jumps barefoot. Like, just I feel like my thing is not so simplified. I've got pussy feet. I want to make my feet less pussy.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing more shit to make my feet less pussy. I hate having like features on me that are weak.
Yeah.
So,
And
that
that's the thing
aspect of
is
me,
that-
I'm like, if I could make my skin like, if I could like lace it with some fucking carbonite shit so that it was like impervious to cuts, I would do it.
Well, you could always get like a horsehair brush and just scrape the top layer off, and then it'll come back as you'll just be callous, man. Mr. Big Callous, just you'll be a thumb.
No, that seems too extreme for me. I'm not shaving my skin off intentionally.
Yeah. It's pretty
But my
intense.
body has like adaptive things from like rolling and stuff like that. Where I've
Exactly.
got like a big lump and
And
stuff.
you know that shit comes back. One thing that I've been doing, apart from like probably a quarter of the distance that I can even jump when I've been like barefoot training as well, but barefoot climbing of trees.
Yeah, trees are cool.
Well, it just hurts. It's like it's just uncomfortable. It puts your
I disagree.
feet in,
Trees
like,
are some of the
super-
most loving things for my feet.
Oh yes.
I think that's because it's like one of the only things I used to climb. I like
Yeah,
the way
right.
bark feels between my toes.
Yeah. Well, funnily enough, so do I. Except,
that's so funny.
except you get sap all over your fucking feet.
Yeah, sap foot.
You're a jiggly kid today.
Oh man, it's the
Jiggling
middle of the day.
around,
It's
yeah.
not 9 p.m. So like I'm a bit like, wow.
Oh, it
I
makes
have to
sense.
go to the dentist as well.
All right. When is Joe Scandrick coming on the podcast?
When he gets his shit together.
What does that mean?
I don't know. We don't plan these things ahead. Look, Joe and I's relationship is not like have a conversation for an hour. It's just like talk a lot of shit. Like, the legitimate conversation that we have would not be like any other legitimate conversation. It would be fun. The Joe and Dom show would definitely be you know, hilarious.
I would just take a little bit of a back seat, probably look things up on YouTube while you guys just banter.
Yeah, but I don't know. Our banter's too lowbrow for the internet, I think.
Oh, maybe. Musa Raman says, are you ever coming to Texas Tempest? Have you been there?
Absolutely, mate. I'll be there next week. So you just stay. If you camp there every day for the next week, I'll be there.
What does Texas Tempest look like?
I don't know, dude. I'm just committing to things.
Good. Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
And I will tell you if I'm gonna go. Oh my God! Look how many trees were planted by your gay ass thing.
Yep. Ecosia. Oh no, that's not.
Ah, that looks like a horse's ass.
I see what you did there.
Ah, yeah, I know this one. I mean, yeah. When I come to America, what do you want from me?
That looks. I like
all the Tempest facilities are super epic.
Yeah, they look super epic.
Super. Epic. Look, that one's got a Tempest symbol in the fucking ground. They're all over it.
It has a what? Oh, a tramp.
Tempest symbol in the walls down there.
No, that's a trampoline, dude.
Okay, if you look, you scroll down about 2 centimeters.
I refuse to even talk to you.
That's a Tempest logo in the bottom there, out of the walls. It's half of the Tempest logo. You just can't see it.
You're a Tempest logo.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I don't even want to talk to you. Why are we even doing this podcast?
Well, I don't know.
All right.
It really confuses me.
Okay. There was another one. Oh. I just like to know if he'd come to the next For the Love of Movement in the Netherlands. So Christmas. I don't even know if they'll be having that.
Definitely not. But if it is on June next year and the world's reopened, I will be there.
Dude, I'll be over in Europe as soon as the world opens again as well. God damn.
Open up, world!
But everything's closing
in
up.
Lockdown again.
Dude, everything's going into lockdown again.
Oh yeah,
except America. And Australia. Yeah,
well,
but we legit have a reason not to be in lockdown because we don't have coronavirus anymore. It's gone.
Is it actually gone from Australia?
I think we've had 4 days of zero.
Fuck off.
Yeah, man.
We are the champions, my friends. Woo! And we'll keep COVID away till the end.
All right. Yo, chat, how to be a parkour guys. Chat, please.
How to be cat passes.
Cat pass. Do a cat pass.
Do a pre, bro. Wait, see that jump over there? Try that. Wait, check this out. There's a backflip, yeah? You should do it.
No, don't do a backflip. That makes you a free runner.
Whoa, okay. Yo, bro, check this out. We don't make the division here. We just do jumps and don't judge each other.
All right, why do you have long hair? Does it ever get annoying after taking showers? Will you ever cut your hair?
I have long hair because I want to be like Daniel Leatherbacker in 2007 to 2011. And no, it doesn't get annoying after showers. And I don't take it out. I don't consider it long hair. It is only as you see it. This is its final form and only form. I sleep like this.
Watch out.
I don't take it out.
Someone asked, I am walking on a leg and half. How can I do parkour?
So either using a prosthetic limb and then finding your balance and working around what your physicality can do. If you don't want to use a prosthetic and you feel like you're able to balance on one leg, there's already a guy out there who is actually training one leg parkour. He just has one leg and he's removed from the hip. So he's all the way out. So he has to balance from a higher point. But he's killing the game. So that's the thing about parkour. It's not about... Parkour itself isn't like this benchmark or staple thing that you have to do like a lot of other sports. It's literally about learning to use your body in these different obstacle variations and situations. So whatever your body is, it will work for parkour, and parkour will work for you because they go hand in hand. It's not a very structured or regimented system. It is structured with the techniques and fundamentals and knowledge, but it isn't regimented in the way of how you attack it or who can do it.
Yep. Oh, kids these days.
Bloody kids.
You kids and you things. Someone asked thoughts on the Vienna attack, and I'm probably going to put it to you. You don't actually know that there was a terrorist attack in Vienna because it happened about an hour ago.
My thoughts are terrorism is bad. Next.
Yep. What's your go-to breakfast?
I only really drink coffee, but if I had to eat breakfast in the morning, I'd probably just go for something like bacon and eggs or like a steak.
Bacon and eggs. Yeah. All right. Last question. Do you have any flip goals?
I really want to do a double layout, like standing off a high height, like 4 meters, 5 meters, do a double back layout. I still haven't done it. Always wanted to do it. I'm just a pussy. As you know, from watching my stuff, I'm not very brave. So probably won't happen.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a lot scarier than tucking.
Yeah. It's more just the landing. You got to, if I don't make it around, then I'm in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, because it'll be Vigo street stunts all over again.
All over again. Maybe I could Cody out of that. Actually, double A to Cody. It's probably a power move there. That is a podcast. You've seen it. Now, go and live your life unsocially dilemmaed.
Unsocials. All the things. All right.
I hope you did other things during this podcast other than just listen to it. But if you didn't, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a good life.
You can be laying here like a...
See you next week.
Paint me like one of your French ladies, Jarran.